यमुना मैया की, भक्ति देवी की, श्रीमती तुलसी महारानी की, समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की, श्री श्री राधा माधव की, श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्र मैया की, श्री श्री गौर की, ग्रंथराज श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की, श्रील कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Om Namo Bhagavat Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshuronmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruh Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha कृपा सिंधुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. Welcome to our continuation of the discussion on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, Madhya Leela chapter 13, the Lord's dancing at Ratha-yātrā. We will continue the last point, 49th verse. All the Vaishnavas came together like an assembly of clouds. As the devotees chanted the holy names in great ecstasy, tears fell from their eyes like rain. 50th. त्रिभुवन भरि उठे कीर्तने रध्वनि अन्य वाद्यादि रध्वनि किछुई न सुनि. So all throughout the 14 planetary systems, only the sounds of these different instruments played in Kirtan, Haridhvani, that was only being heard. सातठाई बोले प्रभु हरि हरि बलि जय जगन्नाथ बोले न हस्त जुग तुली. So Mahaprabhu he wandered through all the 7 groups chanting the name Hari Hari. Raising his arms, he shouted, Jai Jagannath. Mahaprabhu is in full swing, ecstasy. Areka Shakti Prabhu Karila Prakash. Mahaprabhu also manifested one special quality, mystic power. Ekakale Satathai Karila Vilas. Simultaneously, he manifested in 7 different groups. He expanded into 7 forms. Because Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Sankirtan Leela is not different from Lord Krishna's Ras Leela. Just like in Ras Leela, there were millions of gopis, accordingly, there were millions of Krishnas. So likewise, here 7 groups of devotees. So that's why there are 7 Chaitanya Mahaprabhu manifestations. सबे कहे प्रभु आछे न मोर संप्रदाय अन्यठाई नाहि जान हमारे दयाय. Everybody was thinking that Mahaprabhu is in my group only. He leaving my group is not going to another group. Just like every gopi in the Ras Leela thought, Krishna likes me only, he is with me only. He is not going to other gopis at all. Similarly, Krishna 16,108 wives had similar realization that he loves me so much, he doesn't go to other wives. He is all the time with me only. And like that, every queen was thinking the same. because Krishna expanded into 16,108 forms. केह लखिते न पा केह लखिते नारे प्रभुर अचिंत शक्ति अंतरंग भक्त जाने यार शुद्ध भक्ति. So who can understand Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's inconceivable potency? Only internal associates whose devotion was pure, only they could understand. Kirtana dekhiya Jagannatha harashit, Sankirtana dekhe Ratha kariya sthagit. So saying this Kirtan, even Lord Jagannath was very much happy, so much so that in order to see the Sankirtan, he would make his Rath, chariot, stand still. Yesterday we discussed Vidhur and Vidhva concept. So same. प्रतापरुद्रेर हैल परम विस्मय देखीते विवश राजा हैल प्रेममय. Prataprudra was very much wonderstruck, astonished, and Dekite Vivash Raja Haila Premamai. He became inactive and was converted to ecstatic love of Krishna. He is going to get mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very soon because he rendered the Tuchha Seva, menial service of brooming or sweeping the road in front of Lord Jagannath's car. काशी मिश्र कहे राजा प्रभुर महिमा काशी मिश्र कहे तुम्हारा भाग्यर नहीं सीमा. King informed Kashi Mishra, they were very intimate with each other. So King informed Kashi Mishra that Mahaprabhu has manifested in 7 different parties. And immediately Kashi Mishra said, "Oh King, your fortune knows no limits. Because you are able to see, not everybody could see. Only internal devotees, confidential devotees. सार्वभौम संगे राजा करे ठारा ठारी आर के हना ही जाने चैतन्य रचोरी. The king and Sarvam Bhattacharya were both aware of the Lord's activities, but no one else could see the tricks of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So only 2 persons, Sarvam Bhattacharya and King Prataprudra. If you see, Sarvam Bhattacharya is one of the youngest devotees, recently converted, attended device program one time around and became 16 rounder recently only. And after him, Prataprudra, in one sense, got mercy through Sarvam Bhattacharya. But both of them were made fortunate by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be able to witness this mystic power that Mahaprabhu is manifest in 7 different parties simultaneously. So that shows that youngest devotees can get mercy, which sometimes senior also may not get. What it requires is humility. Those who are humble, they will get mercy of the Lord. यारे तार कृपा से जानी बारे पारे कृपा बिना ब्रह्मादिक जानी बारे नारे. Only one or those who have mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they only can know him. Even up to Brahma also, demigods cannot know the Lord if Lord does not shower his mercy. राजा रतुच्छ सेवा देखी प्रभु रतुष्ट मन सहित प्रसादे पाइल रहस्य दर्शन. As we said, that Mahaprabhu was very pleased by that menial service of King Prataprudra, and as a result of that, Mahaprabhu showered him with mercy and gave him this rahasya darshan, this mystic power, mystic darshan that Mahaprabhu is manifest in 7 different forms, 7 different groups. Sakshatena deya dekha paroksheta daya kebhujite pare chaitanya chandrera maya. Though Mahaprabhu did not directly shower his mercy upon King Prataprudra, but indirectly, Sakshatena deya, but parokshe, indirectly he gave his mercy to King Prataprudra. So who can understand the internal potency of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Lord is always merciful. Only it requires little understanding, knowledge to be able to witness that Lord is always merciful. सार्वभौम काशी मिश्र दोई महाशय राजा रे प्रसाद देखी हैला विस्मय. Both Sarva Bhattacharya and Kashi Mishra were astonished to see that King Prataprudra got mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that he alone could see Mahaprabhu manifest in 7 different parties. एई मत लीला प्रभु कैलक तक्षण आपने गायन नाचान निज भक्तगण. This way Mahaprabhu manifested his pastime for some more time. He was dancing and singing along with his devotees. He induced other associates also to dance. Kabhu eka murti kabhu hana bahu murti karya anarupa prabhu prakashaya shakti. Sometimes Mahaprabhu was one form and other times 7 forms. Like sometimes devotees would come together in front of the Rath cart. So only one group of devotees. So Mahaprabhu would have only one form. Everybody is watching. And some other time they have 4 groups in the front, one on left side, one on right side of the chariot, and one at the back side. So Mahaprabhu would manifest then 7 different forms. लीला वेश प्रभुर नाही निजानुसंधान इच्छा जानी लीला शक्ति करे समाधान. Indeed, the personality of Godhead forgot himself in the course of his transcendental pastimes, but his internal potency, Lila Shakti, knowing the intentions of the Lord, made all arrangements. Prabhupada quotes Parasya Shaktir Vividhaiva Shruyati. That so many Shaktis, potencies Lord has. Sometimes Lord may get carried away by out of love for his devotees. So Lila Shakti takes care of all the other things that are required to be done. पूर्वे छेरासादि लीला कैला वृंदावने अलौकिक लीला गौर कैला क्षणे क्षणे. We discussed that point, that as Krishna manifested in the Ras Leela in 100 millions of forms, so similarly alaukika leela gaura kaila kshane kshane, every moment Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also performed uncommon pastimes. Bhaktagana anubhave nahi jane an Shri Bhagavat Shastra tahate praman. Only devotees could understand this, not others, and Srimad Bhagavatam is the testimony for this. एई मत महाप्रभु करे नृत्य रंगे भासाइला सबलोक प्रेमे रत रंगे. In this way Mahaprabhu was performing this pastime of dancing, and all the people, they were floating in the waves of ecstasy or Krishna prem. एई मत हैला कृष्णेरा रथे आरोहण तार आगे प्रभु ना चाहिला भक्तगण. In this way Lord Jagannath boarded, he mounted his chariot, and Mahaprabhu along with his devotees danced in front of the cart. आगे शोन जगन्नाथेर गुंडीचा गमन तार आगे प्रभु आए छे करिला नंतर. Now please hear how Jagannath proceeded to Gundicha temple, and in front of that cart of Jagannath Mahaprabhu was dancing. So he is going to describe that. एई मत कीर्तन प्रभु करिल कतक्षण आपन उद्योगे ना चाहिल भक्तगण. In this way Mahaprabhu performed kirtan for some more time, and through his own endeavor inspired all the devotees to dance. About Mahaprabhu it is said, apani acharyamu bhakti sabhavami shikhai. Apani achari bhakti sabhav shikhau sabhaire. That through his own actions Lord showed how to perform devotional service. As Krishna says in 3rd canto 21st verse, yadyad acharati sreshtas tattat evetaro janah sayat pramanam kurute lokastad anuvartate. Whatever action a great man does, other people follow. So Mahaprabhu is personally showing. In Gundicha Marjan, same thing. He was personally leading and cleaning the temple, and here also he is personally dancing, singing, and leading or showing example to all the other devotees how to participate in the Ratha-yātrā. Apani nachite yabe prabhurah man khaila sata sampradayata be ekatra karila. When Mahaprabhu wanted to dance, sometimes he made all the 7 groups become one, and he is dancing in one form. Srivasa Ramai Raghu Govinda Mukunda Haridasa Govinda Nanda Madhava Govinda Uddanda Nrutye Prabhura Yabe Hailaman Swarupera Sangidila Yaina Vajan. So when Mahaprabhu in his ecstasy wanted to jump high while dancing, he gave charge of these 9 devotees mentioned in earlier sloka to Swarup Damodar Goswami. Srivas Ramai Raghu Govind Mukunda Haridas Govindanand Madhav and Govinda. So they are with Swarup Damodar Goswami for what? For singing. These are best of the singers also. Madhav Ghosh, Govinda Ghosh, Govindanand. Swarup Damodar is also a very sweet singer. So they are all then singing for Mahaprabhu's pleasure, and Mahaprabhu is going to jump while dancing. Ei dasha jana prabhura sange gaya dhai arasab sampradaya charidike gaya. These devotees, Swarup Damodar and the devotees in his charge, sang along with the Lord, and they also ran beside him. All the other groups of men also sang. So devotees, can you imagine Mahaprabhu dancing? Though Lord Shiva is considered called as Nataraj, but Krishna is best of the dancers because he danced on the hoods of Kaliya. So we don't hear Lord Shiva dancing on the hoods of Kaliya. Now snake, the hoods were also going up and down. They were of different sizes also. There were 100 prominent hoods, and other were not so prominent, but totally 1000 hoods also. And the body of the snake is famous for its slippery nature. It's very difficult. Anytime there is performance, dance performance, those who are going to be dancers, they check the stage. because many times our stage is made up of several tables covered with one carpet. So the tables are not of the same size, and sometimes they are also swinging, going this way, that way. So dancers want to make sure that we will not have some, what you call, cram in the leg or something. But Krishna did not have that problem. So that same Krishna has appeared in the form of Ch13 Mahaprabhu. So his dancing is going to make everybody mad. दंडवत करी प्रभु जुड़ी दोई हाथ ऊर्ध्व मुखे स्तुति करे देखी जगन्नाथ. So in our Ratha-yātrā, what should we do? We should dance, we should sing. And apart from that, we can offer prayers, because Mahaprabhu, he dandavata kari, Prabhu judi dui hath. He folded two palms and offered prayers to the Lord. Urdhva mukhe, he's, because Lord Jagannath is anyway on the second floor kind of the chariot. So he's looking up. His head is in upward direction. Stuti kare dekhi Jagannath. Looking at Jagannath, he is offering prayers. We could also offer this praise. Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagat Hitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. So all glories to, or all obeisances to Lord Govinda, Krishna, who is Brahmanya Dev. He is the worshipable persons in Brahminical culture, and he is always the well-wisher of cows and Brahmanas. He works for the well-being of the entire world. To such Lord Govinda I offer my obeisances. Jayati Jayati Devo Devaki Nandanoso Jayati Jayati Krishna Vrushnivamsha Pradeepaha Jayati Jayati Megha Shamalako Malango Jayati Jayati Prithvi Bharanasho Mukunda. This is the third verse of Mukund Mala Stotra, written by King Kulashekar of South India. So he says, all glories to Devaki Nandan, the son of Devaki. All glories to Krishna, who is the lamb of the dynasty of Vrishnis, who is Megha Shamala, Megha Sham, Ghanasham. He is of the complexion of monsoon season cloud. Komalango, his every limb is very delicate. He is the one who removes the burden from the Prithvi, from earth, and he is the giver of liberation, Mukunda. जयति जन्निवासो देवकी जन्मवादो यदुवर परिषत् स्वैर्दार्भिर्वस्न्यन्धर्मम् स्थिरचरवृजिनघ्न सुस्मितश्रीमुखेन व्रजपुरवनितानां वर्धयन् कामदेवम्. Lord Sri Krishna is he who is known as Jananivas, the ultimate resort of all living entities, and who is also known as Devaki Nandan or Yashoda Nandan, the son of Devaki and Yashoda. He is the guide of the Yadu dynasty, and with his mighty arms he kills everything inauspicious, as well as every man who is impious. By his presence he destroys all things inauspicious for all living entities, moving and inert. His blissful smiling face always increases the lusty desires of the gopis of Vrindavan. May he be all glorious and happy. So Krishna is described here as one who kills everything inauspicious. So all amangalata, all inauspiciousness will be removed by Krishna's presence. And Krishna appears in Kali Yuga in the form of holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. The second characteristic of devotional service is Shubhada. First is Kleshagni. All the kleshas, troubles in life, kleshas will be removed, distresses. And second is Shubhada. It creates all auspiciousness. Wherever holy name of the Lord is chanted, all auspiciousness is created. And he also kills every impious man. So we don't have to worry about so many people inimical to Krishna consciousness. Krishna will take care of them only if we take shelter of him in the form of holy name of the Lord. Then Naham Vipro Nacha Narapatir Napi Vaisho Na Shudro Naham Varni Nacha Grahapatir Navanasto Yatirva Kintu Prodyan Nikila Paramananda Purnamritabdher Gopi Bhartuhu Padakamalayor Dasa Dasanudasaha. So he also prayed, I am not Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. I am not Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasi. I am only the servant of the servant of the servant of Lord Krishna, the maintainer of the gopis. So how many prayers? 4 around. Namo Brahmane Devaya, Jayati Jayati Devo, Devaki Nandanaso. Then that Jayati Jana Nivaso, that is Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 90th, last chapter. And this one, Naham Vipro Nacha Narapati. 4 verses he offered. एतपडी पुनरपि करिल प्रणाम जोड़हाते भक्तगण वंदे भगवान. Again, etapadi punarapi karila pranam. Again, Mahaprabhu offered his obeisances to Lord Jagannath with folded palms. Bhaktagana vande Bhagwan. The devotees also, with their folded palms, offered prayers to the Lord. Uddanda nrutya prabhu kariya hunkar chakra bhrame aiche alat akar. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced and jumped high, roaring like thunder and moving in a circle like a will, he appeared like a circling firebrand. How many of you have seen that alat akar? They have one stick. At the end, there is a cloth which is soaked in some kind of inflammable object. I don't know what exactly. And then that is set on fire. So fire here, fire there. And they rotate it. How many of you seen? It appears like a circle. That is very famous in Jagannath Puri during Ratha-yātrā. In the evening, you will find that. So Mahaprabhu here, he is not having that firebrand. He is dancing with such high speed and jumping high, roaring, moving in a circle. He appears to be like circling firebrand. So you can imagine how fast Mahaprabhu must be dancing. We dance with that speed, with the speed of ecstasy, ideally. What is the subtle, how much subtle body dances, that much gross body will dance. So Mahaprabhu's subtle body consisting of Radharani only. Radharani's heart he has brought. So how much Radharani will be dancing? She is also best dancer. She has 26 qualities, of which one of them is dancer also. One of the qualities is Ch13. One of the acharyas is Ch13. She is the best of the students, Vidyarthini. Srimati Radharani. Always eager to know how to serve Krishna better now. She served him the best earlier, but now how to serve him the best. She is always eager to know. She never has the pride that I am the best devotee and I know the best. I know everything. She always wants to learn. That is what is Ch13. Nrutya prabhur yaha yaha pade padatal sasagara shailah mahi kareta lamal. While dancing, wherever Mahaprabhu's footsteps fell, it was like along with the oceans and mountains, the whole earth was shaking or appearing to tilt. Stamba Shveda Pulaka Ashrukampa Vaivarnya Nana Bhave Vivashata Garva Harsha Dainya. These are all the 8 symptoms of ecstasy. When Mahaprabhu danced, he displayed various blissful transcendental changes in his body. Sometimes he appeared as though stunned. Sometimes the hairs of his body stood on end. Sometimes he perspired, cried, trembled, and changed color. And sometimes he exhibited symptoms of helplessness, pride, exuberance, and humility. So all the opposites also will be seen in such things, such ecstasy. Achhad khaiya pade bhume godi jai, suvarna parvata aiche bhume te lotai. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fell down with a crash while dancing, he would roll on the ground. At such times, it appeared that a golden mountain was rolling on the ground. Same description for Nityananda also by Lochandas Thakur. Eta boli Nityananda bhume gadi jai, sonara parvata jena dhulate lotai. While in distributing Krishna consciousness, Gauranga's name to everyone, Nityananda Eta boli Nityananda bhume gadi jai. He would roll on the ground and it would appear like a golden mountain is rolling. Sonara Parvata Jana Dhulate Lotai is getting rolled in dust. Nityananda Prabhu Dui Hatha Prasariya Prabhu Re Dharite Chahe Ashapasha Dhaya. Nityananda Prabhu was running behind Mahaprabhu with his arms outstretched, so that when Mahaprabhu falls this side, that side, he will catch him, will not allow him to get hurt by hitting the ground. Prabhu Pashe Bule Acharya Kariya Hunkar Hari Bola Bole Barabar. And behind Advaita Acharya is also running while chanting Hari Bol. He is loudly roaring. He is also in ecstasy. Loka Nivarite Haila Tina Mandal Prathama Mandale Nityananda Mahabal. Now people will also run behind and sometimes may create disturbance in Mahaprabhu's ecstasy. So that's why 3 circles of devotees were formed to protect Mahaprabhu, so that nobody will be able to come inside where Mahaprabhu is dancing. So which are the 3 circles that will be described? Kashishwara Govindadi Yata Bhaktagan Hata Hati Kari Haila, Dvitiya Avaran, Kashishwar and Govinda. So first, Pratama Mandale Nityananda Mahabal. In the first circle, innermost circle, Nityananda Prabhu is there with some other devotees. Second, Kashishwar Pandit and Govinda, who were the two personal servants of Mahaprabhu. Govinda was personal servant, and Kashishwar was the one who would escort Mahaprabhu. When he would go to for darshan or anywhere, so many thousands of people would gather, and they would not allow Mahaprabhu to go further only. So he would be there. Haribol, give way, give way. He was very powerful. So everybody had to agree. Everybody had to give way. So they were in the second circle. Hata hati kari haila dviti avaran. They were catching each other's hands and they formed the second circle. Bahire Prataparudra Laya Patragan Mandala Haya Kare Loka Nivaran. The outermost third circle was consisting of Prataparudra. Then his minister Harichandan was also there, and so many others were there, along with his associates, assistants. They made the outermost third circle to check the crowds from coming too near to Mahaprabhu. Harichandane Raskande Hasta Alambiya Prabhura Nrutya Dekhe Raja Avishtahaya. This King Prataprudra also in great ecstasy, keeping his hands on the shoulders of Harichandan. He was also watching Mahaprabhu dance. Hena Kale Srinivasa Prema Vishtaman Rajar Agera he Dekhe Prabhura Nartan. But then inner, maybe second circle or somewhere, where Srivas Thakur is there, he is also in love for Krishna, Gauranga. He also doesn't know. He is also looking at Mahaprabhu's when he is dancing. But the exact problem is in between the vision of Prataprudra and in between Mahaprabhu and Prataprudra, Srinivas or Srivas Thakur is there. So king is not able to see properly, and that is a great concern for Harichandan, his associate. Raja Rage Harichandan dekhe Srinivas haste tare sparsha kahe ek how ek pash. So when Harichandan observed that Srinivas is coming in between, so he just touched him. Harivo, Prabhu, Hare Krishna, and just, could you please move aside? He's telling, now so much of kirtan going on, loud noise. So how Srinivas would be able to hear? That too, he is completely in ecstasy, seeing Mahaprabhu dance. Nrutya veshe Srinivasa kichui na jane, bar bar thele te ho krodha haila mane. Absorbed in watching Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dance, Srivas Thakur could not understand why he was being touched and pushed. After he was pushed again and again, he became angry. It's a transcendental anger. So it's like he's not understanding, but then he understands somebody is, why is getting pushed? Who is that? What's the problem? So much moment of ecstasy. Who is this fellow before? So then Chapada Maria Tare Kaila Nivaran, Chapada Khaya Kruddha Haila Harichandan. He just slapped Harichandan to stop him from further pushing him. That made Harichandan very angry. He's after all assistant of King Prataprudra. How could he bear such insult? And that too, he is very selflessly trying to serve King. King is there after all. He wants to see Mahaprabhu dance. So this is not fair. Kruddha Hayya Tare Kichu Chahe Bolivare. In his anger, he wanted to say something. Hey, Prabhu. Whatever. He may say Prabhu. Prabhu, what is this? He wanted to say something like that. Apani Prataprudra Nivarila Tare. But king pacified him, stopped him. So you can see the king consciousness of King Prataprudra from next line. Bhagyavana tumi ihara hastasparsha paila taha amara bhagya nahi tumi krutartha haila. Are you are so fortunate. You got the touch of the lotus hand of Srivas Thakur. Yeah, hand is lotus, but it was a strong slap. But he's saying, you're fortunate that you got the touch of the hand of Srivas Thakur. Amara bhagya nahi. I am not that fortunate. Tumi kruthartha haila. You are really indeed, you are fortunate. You should feel obliged to him. Prabhu Randrutya dekhi loka haila chamatkar anya achuk jagannathera ananda apar. Everyone was astonished by the dancing of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and even Lord Jagannath became extremely happy to see him. So they say in like in English they say in love and war, everything is fair in love and war. So we are in love with Krishna and in war with Maya. So in that sense, everything is fair. So here our Srivas Thakur is in love with Krishna, Gauranga, and this kind of so-called war. So he won war over the war. So we should understand properly whenever we are performing devotional service, any kind of disturbance like that is not a disturbance. Any trouble that comes, Thakur Bhaktivinoda says, that is Saita Parama Sukha, that is greatest happiness. The devotee of the Lord can never get disturbed in his devotional activities. Nothing is there in the creation. Materialist people get so much of disturbance every now and then. That Manda Bhagya hi Upadrataha, the 14th verse, the 10th verse of first canto, first chapter, says the characteristics of Kali Yuga residents. And one of them is they are always disturbed. But devotees never disturbed. Dhiras tatrana moyati. Even a person who is sober by dint of his knowledge, he doesn't get disturbed. So what to speak about devotee? Morning we were discussing about dhiras and narottamas. So devotees are narottamas, the best of human beings, and they can never be disturbed. Here we can see King Pratap Rudra. He is so much in love with Mahaprabhu, he is able to see it as mercy. The mercy of the Lord can come in any form, in the form of slap by one of the devotees also. One should be able to see it as mercy. Otherwise, we may not understand. In English, there is another saying, I believe, that when the opportunity knocks at the door, a fool considers it to be a disturbance, noise. Isn't it? Opportunity knocks at the door. Hare Krishna Prabhu, would you like to make advancement? What's that? Who's crazy? Get lost. Don't knock the door. I don't want any disturbance. So this is very good, getting mercy of the devotee. So the only it requires devotion, like King Prataprudra had, then we can understand. Else we will, as this saying says, we will just consider it a disturbance and we will not be able to make progress. In the same conditions that different all devotees pass through, all devotees make different progress, different amount of progress based on their attitude and their devotion. Same situations are same for all devotees, but the progress is different. It depends on their devotion and their attitude. So here Pratapradra's attitude is so high class. Just can't imagine. Just put yourself in that condition. Just imagine your temple president slaps you in Ratha-yātrā, in public. How do you feel? What? Isn't it? A falsico immediately Kaliya takes out the hood. We don't have much hood. A mood, the hood of mood keeps surfacing and troubles us. But Prataprudra is not like that. Because he was peaceful, Prataprudra, he was ecstatic, he could pacify Harichandan. Harichandan, you can see here, one sentence was enough for him. You may say because he's after all servant of king, and king said he had to agree. No, still there can be disturbances, but he understood. So who preaches, it matters. One who practices in his personal life, when he preaches, it has tremendous influence on those who are recipients of that knowledge. Here Prataprudra was personally convinced that the mercy of the Lord comes in any form. We see earlier when he was denied, this is almost he's about to get mercy, but before this, so many times he was denied the audience of Mahaprabhu. To the degree that one point of time Nityananda Prabhu pleaded, oh Lord, you are not ready to meet him, thinking that he is a materialistic king surrounded by women and wealth. So at least you give him your outer cloth. The king may feel a little pacified by that. Mahaprabhu said, okay, you may give. So outer cloth was given and king was so much in ecstasy. Because Tasmat Parataram Devi Tadiyanam Samarchanam, that of all the worships, the topmost is that of Vishnu. And better than worshipping Vishnu is worshipping his paraphernalia. Of that paraphernalia, the topmost paraphernalia is the devotees. So he got one cloth of Mahaprabhu and he felt, yes, this is Mahaprabhu only I have received. So that kind of devotion he had. When he was finding again and again, he was getting denied for meeting Mahaprabhu. Then he says, Tahara pratigya morena koribe darashan, mora pratigya tahavina chhadi jivan. If it is the vow of that Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that he will not give me his darshan, then it is my vow that I will give up my life without getting his mercy. Jadi sei Mahaprabhu na pai kripa dhan, kiba rajya kiba deha sab akaran. If I don't receive the mercy of that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what is the use of this body and this kingdom? I'll just give it up. I'll become Kana Fata Sannyasi. Kana Fata means what is this called? Lobe below the ear lobe, I think. So I will break this ear lobe and will put ivory earring in one ear, like that. You may have heard this is opulence. This is not opulence. This is sannyas. They have one kind of sannyasi. Morning we are discussing about Indra starting different sannyas sampradayas, sadhus, all fake sampradayas. So one of them is this also, Kana Fata sannyasi, like that. So they make a big hole there and put ivory earring there. So he is ready to go to any extent to receive Mahaprabhu's mercy. That's why when he speaks, he is ready to pay any price to get Mahaprabhu's mercy. That's why when he said to Hari Chandan, it had immediate result. That's why we should, just like in the medicines also or diseases also, when expert doctor is there, he will just immediately tell. Just like Nadi Vaidya also. So many hundreds of Ayurvedic doctors you go, they are only not getting Nadi only. So they don't know exactly where to touch. But some expert Vaidyas, they will just touch body and they can see your entire internal structure. What's wrong? Where there is a blockage, where the knots are there formed in the blood, where the knots are there in the body, they can see clearly. So likewise, the pure devotees are. So by their preaching, tremendous influence takes place. The one, it automatically and we immediately gets benefited. प्रभुर नृत्य देखे देखी लोक के हाइला चमत्कार अन्य अचुक जगन्नाथेर आनंद अपार. Everyone was astonished by the dancing of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and even Lord Jagannath became extremely happy to see him. Rathasthira kaila aage na kare gaman, animisha netre kare nritya darshan. Jagannath also did not take the rath ahead, and with animisha netra, without blinking eyes, he is taking darshan of Mahaprabhu's dance. Now materialistic fellows say these people are too much in imaginative world. That wooden doll statue, that how can he blink the eyes? What foolishness. Animation netre, without blinking eyes, Jagannath is taking darshan. This is after all a doll, wooden doll or patthar ki murti. How can what these people devotees speak? They are too crazy. So this is because of lack of faith. And when there is a faith, one can see how Lord is not able to blink eyes. Otherwise, he blinks the eyes also. So it's just a matter of faith. They say that there is nothing in the creation that can make a humble devotee proud, and anything can make a proud person proud. Any small thing also could make him proud. So one who has faith, he can clearly see, and those who don't have faith, they can't see. So here Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is saying that Jagannath is seeing Lord Chaitanya dance without blinking his eyes. Subhadra Balaramera Rudhaye Ullas Nritya Dekhi Dui Janar Srimukhe Tehas. Similarly, Subhadra and Balaram also were happy at heart seeing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dance, and on their mouths there were smiles when Mahaprabhu was dancing. So here also materialistic person is saying that painting is drawn like that only on these statues. So how are you saying that they are, even if somebody dies in front of them, they will be smiling only. So this is a materialistic vision. Premanjana Churita Chakshu is different, by which one can understand the heart of the Lord. The deities also cry when the devotees are in trouble. There are so many instances of that, that how deities exhibit the emotions. When Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha were taking birth, the deities in the temples were shedding tears, because these people are going to destroy so many people, kill cows, and so many other disturbances. Uddanda Nritya Prabhura Adbhuta Vikar Ashtasatvika Bhava Udaya Haya Samakal. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced and jumped high, 8 wonderful transformations indicative of divine ecstasy were seen in his body. All these symptoms were visible simultaneously. In the morning we sing Mahaprabho Kirtan Nritya Gita Vaditra Madhyan Manasora Sena Romanchakampa Ashrutaranga Bhajo Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam. That in the body of Shri Gurudev, these 8 transformations are visible very clearly. Romancha, the hair stand on end. Ours also stand, but only in chill, cold winter season, like that. Romanchakampa, body shivering, similarly, after cold water bath in winter because the geyser was not working only. So then Romanchakampa Ashrutaranga, continuous torrential rain like tears coming. Taranga Bhajo. So that is Gurudev. Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nritya Gita, while dancing and singing in the Kirtans of Lord Shri Gauranga. Vaditra Madhyan, he is engladdened by that sound of musical instruments. So that's why they also should be played properly, because Guru becomes ecstatic by hearing them. All the instruments, Mridang, Kartal, they are manifestations of Balram, and holy name is manifestation of Krishna. When Krishna appears in the form of holy name, Balramji appears in the form of Kartal, Mridang, other instruments to accompany him. So that's why they should be accompanying him, they should not be choking him. Sometimes Kartan Mridang are played so loudly, one can hardly hear holy name. So one should be very careful. What are we doing in devotional service? Balram is choking Krishna. Hey Krishna, आवाज नहीं निकालने का. Balram never has this kind of mood, but we make him. So Balram will be upset with us. So one should not be like that. One should use sensitivity. There should be sensitivity, but it takes some time. As long as we are as Kanishta Adhikaris and we don't hear from great souls, we won't understand what are we doing. We're just going on mechanically, not properly performing devotional service. Mam sabrana sama moroma vranda pulakit shimuli vrukshaye na kantaka vestit. So the analogy is given. His skin erupted with goose pimples. When that hair stand on end, at the bottom of the hair, where hair comes out of skin, you'll find a goosebump or some boil, small boil. How many of you observed? Observe next time. Mamsavrana sama Roma Vrunda Pulakit, and the hairs of his body stood on end. His body resembled the shimuli, that is silk cotton tree, all covered with thorns. How many of you seen silk cotton tree? Cotton tree? Cotton tree, how many of you seen? Thank God. Still some fields are there, it is there. So silk cotton tree has that kind of appearance. His body was appearing like that, covered with thorns. एक दंतेर कंप देखिते लागे भय लोके जाने दंत सब खसिया पड़े. Each and every one of his teeth was shaking. In our childhood, we have experience the tooth was about to fall, so it would shake, isn't it? Then some of us only might have pulled it, or it fell off automatically. Prabhupada once his one tooth was troubling; it was shaking. So there was a lot of swelling there, and Harishauri Prabhu was personal servant. So he saw Prabhupada was giving lecture, and it was difficult because swelling was there, so much swelling, so much pain must be there. But Prabhupada was not mentioning. So he saw that for 1 or 2 days. And that next morning when Harishauri Prabhu came, Prabhupada gave a broad smile. The tooth was not there. And then he said, removed it like that. And he kept it in the drawer. It's in Harishauri Prabhu took that as a remnant and he kept with him. So Prabhupada removed it, Indian style. Like, andar rahega baas, na bajegi bansuri. No swelling only will remain if you remove the tooth. All that swelling is because of that shaking tooth. Prabhupada removed it. So Mahaprabhu's each and every tooth was shaking, was chattering. Loke jane danta sabak hasiya pada, and people felt like all his teeth will just come out. Sarvange prasveda chote tate raktodgam jag jag gag gag jag jag gag gag gadagad vachan. So all sarvange, all over his body flowed with perspiration. At the same time, oozed blood. Raktodgam, Rakta ka udgam. Blood is oozing out from all over the body. There are some chapters in Antelila also where it is shown how Mahaprabhu would go mad. Radharani in separation from Krishna. On the walls of Gambhira, Mahaprabhu would brush all his face, all bruises, all bloody face, like that. Devotees would be horrified, like that. So all transformation, all the joints in the house, in the hand, in the body would be separated. That's why the hand should become so long, double the size almost. And then whole body would be like pumpkin. All varieties of, and in such situation, he would not be able to chant the name of Lord Jagannath. He said, Jajjag Gaggag, Jajjag Gaggag. Nath is out only. The jug of that Jajjag Gaggag, Jajjag Gaggag. Like that. He is not able to say Nath only. So complete ecstasy. When will it happen? We take pride in, I pronounce every word so perfectly. That's a disqualification. You should not be able to pronounce properly. Then you have got mercy of Mahaprabhu. Right? So what we consider to be advancement could be lack of advancement. So we have to know, learn from devotees and Lord. Jalayantra dharaye vahe ashrujal ashapache lokayat bhijila sakal. Tears came forcefully from the eyes of the Lord as if from a syringe, and all the people surrounding him became wet. So devotees have drawn very nice picture of this. We know one of the most famous pictures. Ratha-yātrā, Mahaprabhu is dancing in ecstasy, and tears are coming. And one devotee, Shubhanand, also took it. So, and the devotees in front became wet because tears, for our tears, so much what you call shortage. Rarely tears come, and if at all they come, they don't even go below. Here only they dry on the way only. Evaporate like that. But Mahaprabhu's like syringes, straight. People in front only will become wet. Devotees also in Gorakhpur, when Prabhupada chanted Jai Radha Madhav, similar, Prabhupada went in ecstasy, could not control his ecstasy. Great souls, pure devotees don't exhibit such ecstasy in public, openly for everyone. But sometimes uncontrollable ecstasy, then it happens. So directly tears came from Prabhupada's eyes and the devotees in front became wet. They were wondering like that. And then after that, Jai Radha Madhav, Prabhupada stopped the Gita and said, just chant Hare Krishna. Prabhupada left. No Bhagavatam class. Because his ecstasy was uncontrollable for him. So he just left. Tears came forcefully from the eyes of the Lord as if from a syringe, and all the people surrounding him became wet. So we should also aspire. Now we bring tears to others' eyes. Ekameka sahya karu. We help each other like that. But when will tears come in our own eyes by our own ecstasy? Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that kabe habe bolo se din amar baibarnya be pothe. What is that? Vaibarnya Vepathu Habe Sangatana. Yeah, Vaibarnya. Varnya, your Varna becomes, you become color, discolored. It's, I don't know how to explain, but just like whitish. Somebody is very sad, he looks morose. Varna is not as brilliant as it would normally appear. So Vaibarnya, Vepathu, that is hair standing on it. Bepatushya sharire me roma harshasya jayate gandivam sramsate hastat tvakchaiva paridayate. So different symptoms. So we should also pray sometimes. By devotional service, heart will become soft. And when kirtan is heard or harikatha is heard, we will cry tears like that. His Holiness Gaur Goswami Maharaj would say that we have opened a crying school. We teach here how to cry. But we only teach each other or help each other to cry. Kanishtadhikari means one Kanishtadhikari will make other Kanishtadhikari cry. And in reciprocation, he also dadati pratigranati. I also make you cry. Prabhu, I am also your equal. So that is not the way. One should make advancement by which this will happen. देह कांति गौरवर्ण देखिए अरुण कभु कांति देखिए न मल्लिका पुष्प सम. Everyone saw the complexion of his body change from white to pink, so that his luster resembled that of the mallika flower. How many of you have seen mallika flower? 1, 2, 3. You have seen, but you don't know. Maybe. Okay. So most of us being raised, born and brought up in Bangalore, electronic city, we might be knowing electronic flower, but we don't know mallika flower. Otherwise, they do, okay, mallika flower. Immediately they will type on internet, mallika flower. So this is our understanding of nature. So we don't even know nature. How will know Krishna, who is the source of that nature? Maya Adhyakshana Prakriti. That's why His Holiness Radha Govind Swami Maharaj says, to understand many of the analogies, examples of Srimad Bhagavatam, we need to be born in village or at least raised in village. Being born and brought up in cities, we hardly understand what is Bakula tree, what is Bakula flower, Mallika flower, Parijat flower. We know nothing. We only know WhatsApp, Instagram, Twitter, and I don't even know what other things. Facebook. Our face is never looking at the book of Prabhupada, and he is seeing how much is my coverage on Facebook. What's the use? Foolishness. In English, Jasmine. Here it is written Mallika only. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Great. So you can take the devotees on the tour of your garden and show them the basic flowers like that. Otherwise, we know only plastic flowers. Yeah, I know marigold. There, that street of Bangalore, hundreds of shops having all marigold, yellow, saffron, whatever, and all plastic basically. Nowadays, that is recent, I think, upcoming thing. So many plastic decoration of flowers. प्रभु स्तंभ कभु प्रभु भूमि ते लोटाए शुष्क काष्ठमय पद हस्त न चलाए. Sometimes he appeared stunned and sometimes he rolled on the ground. Indeed, sometimes his legs and hands became as hard as dry wood and he did not move. कभु भूमि पड़े कभु श्वास हयहीन यहाँ देखी भक्त गणेर प्राण हय क्षीण. So sometimes he fell on the ground and his shwas, pran, became heen. That means breathing almost stopped. Yaha dekhi bhakta ganera prana hayakshin, and the devotees' lives became very feeble because Gauranga is their life and soul, and Gauranga only is breathing slowly, is kind of on the verge of death. How would devotees be able to maintain their lives? Kabhu netre nasaya jala mukhe pade phen amrute radhara chandra bimbe na vahiyen. Water flowed from his eyes and sometimes through his nostrils, and foam fell from his mouth. These flowings appeared to be torrents of nectar descending from the moon. So from eyes are coming tears. From nose is coming, what do you call? Mucus. And from mouth is coming foam or saliva. All three are coming downward only, and eventually on the neck and chest, they're all getting mixed. And you can imagine. Each one of them is considered so bad, dirty. And all three are simultaneously present and they are getting mixed also. So this is what King Prataprudra saw Mahaprabhu as first time when he saw. And he got bewildered. What kind of Lord is this? So he, in one sense, apparently committed one offense to the Lord. That's why also Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur says, Lord was not ready to give him audience, was denying him, keeping him away. That's why Jagannath also purified Prataprudra. When he went to see Jagannath, his own Lord, again Jagannath eyes were having tears, nose was running with mucus, and mouth was running with saliva. And king was shocked. And then Jagannath said, but I am your Lord only. Why are you shocked? You saw me on the street. So he made him clear, Jai Gaur Sai Krishna, Sai Jagannath. सैफेन लय्या शुभानंद कैलपान Krishna prema rasikate ho mahabhagyavan. The foam that fell from the mouth of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was taken and drunk by Shubhanand because he was very fortunate and expert in relishing the mellow of ecstatic love of Krishna. I hope you saw that photo. In that, Shubhanand was there sitting below. Sitting means not exactly sitting, but little bent. Here is Shubhanand behind, not very clearly visible, but is there. Actually, here also. Okay. So he is drinking that ecstasy. So what we consider, like, that what is that? COVID. Do haath ki duri, mask hai zaruri. Keep 2 hands distance and always wear mask. And every now and then use sanitizer, like that. And even otherwise also, it is not considered like somebody's sweat and all. If you touch, you are contaminated, or your own sweat also, for that matter. If you touch, you are contaminated. So likewise, so many things are there, but in spiritual life we find everything opposite. Uchishta, somebody's remnants. I got whatever disease he has, if you eat that remnant, you will also get. So it's not good. But in spiritual life, bhakta pada dhuli, bhakta pada jal, bhakta bhukta avashesha tina mahabal. The remnants left by devotees, the water which has washed their lotus feet, and the dust from their lotus feet. These three are three mahabal, very powerful, potent things. Accepting any one of them, or to speak of two or three, will lead to tremendous advancement, because the disease of the heart of the devotee will be carried forward to you. Which disease? Krishna Prem. They are intoxicated with Krishna Prem. That's how we take the remnants of great souls, pure devotee, spiritual master, so that we will also get some ecstasy. So this Shubhananda is aware of this science of Krishna consciousness. He at once accepted Mahaprabhu's fena, the foam that came out of his mouth, and he drank it. Krishna Prema Rasika. ಈ ಮತ ತಾಂಡವ ನೃತ್ಯ ಕೈಲಕ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಭಾವ ವಿಶೇಷ ಪ್ರಭುರ ಪ್ರವೇಶಿಲ್ಲ ಮನ್. After Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had performed his devastating dance for some time, his mind entered into a mood of ecstatic love. Tandav Nritya, devastating dance. Sometimes devotees also do that. As a result, sometimes some devotee's hand is broken, other devotee's leg is broken, like that. So we should not do that. Here nobody's hand or leg was broken, but going mad in ecstasy, that is very much appreciated. तांडव नृत्य छाड़ी स्वरूपे आज्ञा दिला हृदय जानिव स्वरूप गायिते लागिला. So Mahaprabhu stopped this, abandoned this devastating dance, and ordered Swarup Damodar Goswami. Immediately Swarup Damodar Goswami understood heart of Mahaprabhu, and he started singing particular thing. What he sang? Sita parana nath painu yaha lagi madan dahane juri genu. So this is the heart of Srimati Radharani. Now I have gained the Lord of my life, in the absence of whom I was being burned by Cupid and was withering away. At Kurukshetra, when she saw Krishna after so many years, so she's feeling pacified. Now I have gained the Lord of my life, in the absence of whom I was being burned by Cupid and was withering away. Radharani was so much in feelings of separation that she would lie down on the ground unconscious almost, and the gopis would make a garland and put on her body. Immediately the heat of her body would wither away, or what you call wilt, dry up all the petals. Immediately all petals would fall on the ground, and what would be visible? Only thread around her neck. That's all. So much intense heat in the body generated due to separation from Krishna. So that is Srimati Radharani. Mahabhava Swarupini Shri Radha Thakurani. Mahabhav. We can hardly reach bhav. Living entity maximum can reach prem. Shraddha, sadhu sang, bhajan kriya, anatha nivrutti, nishtha, ruchi, asakti, bhav, prem. But after that there is pranay, there is bhav, another bhav, and then there is mahabhav, highest, and Radharani has it. E dhuya uchchasware gaya damodar anande madhura nritya karena ishwar. So this particular refrain from some song was sung by Swarup Damodar Goswami loudly, and Mahaprabhu in great ecstasy began rhythmically dancing in transcendental bliss. Dhire dhire Jagannatha kare na gaman age nritya kori chalen Sachiranandan. Slowly Lord Jagannath was moving forward as Mahaprabhu was dancing in front of the cart. Sachiranandan. Jagannathe netra diya sabe nache gaye kirtaniya saha Prabhu pache pache jaye. While dancing and singing, all the devotees in front of Lord Jagannath kept their eyes on him. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then went to the end of the procession with the Sankirtan performers. So devotees are going forward also, but they are keeping their eyes on Jagannath also. You also must have seen our Ratha-yātrā also. We keep going ahead with Kirtan, but then again and again we keep looking backside also. How far is Jagannath? Should I stop? Should I slow down? Or whatever. So this is parampara. जगन्नाथेर मग्न प्रभुर नयन हृदय श्रीहस्त जोगे करे गीतेर abhinay. His eyes and mind fully absorbed in Lord Jagannath, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to play the drama of the song with his two arms. गौर यदि पाछे चले श्याम होय स्थिर स्थिरे गौर आगे चले श्याम चले धीरे धीरे. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dramatically enacting the song, he would sometimes fall behind in the procession. At such times, Lord Jagannath would come to a standstill. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again went forward, Lord Jagannath's car would slowly start again. So both are reciprocating with each other. Ei mat gaura shama dohe thela theli swarathe shamere rathe rakhe gaura mahabali. Thus there was a sort of competition between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Jagannath in seeing who would lead. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so strong that he made Lord Jagannath wait in his car. So who would lead? But Mahaprabhu stops, Jagannath has to stop. Nachite nachite prabhura haila bhavantara hastatuli shloka pade kari uchchaswara. While Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing, his ecstasy changed. Raising his two arms, he began to recite the following verse in a loud voice. So this is verse by Srimati Radharani. Nice, but it's very complicated. Yah kaumar harah sa eva hi varasta eva chaitra kshapas te chon milita malati surabhayah praudaha kadamba nilaha sa chaivasmi tathapi tatra surat vyapar lila vidhau reva rodasi vetasi tarutale chetah samutkanthate. That very personality who stole away my heart during my youth is now again my master. This is what you call? This is like a riddle. One cannot understand so easily. But Radharani is telling her romantic affair with Krishna in different words. That very personality who stole away my heart during my youth is now again my master. These are the same moonlit nights of the month of Chaitra. The same fragrance of Malti flowers is there, and the same sweet breezes are blowing from the Kadamba forest. In our intimate relationship, I am also the same lover, yet still my mind is not happy here. I am eager to go back to that place on the bank of the river under the Vetasi tree. That is my desire. What they call duet song. So like that Mahaprabhu is singing, and all the devotees are surprised. What is this? Between lover and beloved. Only Swarup Damodar Goswami and one point of time Rupa Goswami was present. He understood this, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the mood of Radharani is expressing his feeling towards Krishna. ये श्लोक महाप्रभु पढ़े बार बार स्वरूप विना अर्थ के ह ना जाने इहार. Mahaprabhu was again and again reciting this verse, except for Swarup Damodar Goswami. Nobody was able to understand. ये श्लोकार्थ पूर्वे करी याचे न व्याख्यान Shlokera Bhavata Kari Sankshepe Akhyan. I have already explained this verse. Now I shall simply describe it in brief. Purve Aiche Kurukshetre Saban Gopigan Krishnera Darshana Paya Ananditaman. Earlier, after years of separation, when gopis met Krishna in Kurukshetra, because of that lunar eclipse, solar eclipse, so that time they were completely happy. Gopis saw Krishna after many years. जगन्नाथ देखी प्रभुर से भाव उठिला सेई भाव अविष्ट या धुया गाया येला. So Mahaprabhu also experienced similar ecstasy by seeing Jagannath. Being absorbed in this ecstasy, he asked Swarup Damodar to sing the refrain. Avasheshe Radha Krishna kore nivedan sei tu me seyami sei navasangam. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke thus to Lord Jagannath. You are the same Krishna and I am also same Radharani. We are meeting again in the same way that we met in the beginning of our lives. Tathapi amar man hare vrindavan vrindavane udaya karao apana charan. Although we are both the same, my mind is still attracted to Vrindavan Dham. I wish that you will please again appear with your lotus feet in Vrindavan. So Krishna was in Rajavish. He is the king of Dwarka and he has come with royal dress, Rajavish. But gopis are not happy to see in that way. They want to see him in Gopavish, as the darling of Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj, as a cowherd boy. So she wants to take Krishna to Vrindavan. And that's why gopis in their mind only formed chariots, three chariots, made Krishna sit on one and Jagannath, Balram on other and Subhadra on the third one. And in their minds only they were pulling the carts to Vrindavan. So this is what is Ratha-yātrā. That's why Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, whose disappearance day will celebrate after 2 days. So he says, I want to be in Kurukshetra, assisting gopis in pulling this chariot carts to Vrindavan. That is the ecstasy of the heart of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So when we are pulling the ropes which are tightly tied to the cart of Lord Jagannath, we should remember this mood, that we are taking Lord to Jagannath, Lord to Vrindavan, like that. In fact, Gundicha Mandir is nothing but Shri Vrindavan Dham. So we can sing Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavana Shri Govinda Gopinatha Madana Mohana. So as we approach Gundicha, okay, sorry, time is less. Time is already over, not less, but I'm going little over time because we have to catch up with whatever is lagging. We did well today by Lord Gauranga's mercy. So I wish that you will please again appear with your lotus feet in Vrindavan. So this mood is very important. A lot of progress happens on our internal mood, our attitude inside. So after initial few years of outer progress, we should little bit take a what you call closer look of our inside also. What am I doing? Why do I do what I do? First know why to do that and then do it with proper attitude. Iha lokaranya hathi ghoda ratha dhvani taha pushparanya bhrunga pikanada shani. The contrast of Kurukshetra position of Krishna and Vrindavan. In Kurukshetra, there are crowds of people, elephants and horses, and also the rattling of chariots. But in Vrindavan, there are flower gardens, and the humming of the bees and chirping of the birds can be heard. Iha Rajavesh Sange Sabha Kshatriyagan Taha Gopavesh Sange Murali Vadan. Here at Kurukshetra, you are dressed like a royal prince, accompanied by great warriors. But in Vrindavan, you appeared just like an ordinary cowherd boy, accompanied only by your beautiful flute. Vraje tomara sangiye sukha aswadan sei sukha samudrera iha nahi ekakan. Here there is not even a drop of the ocean of transcendental happiness that I enjoyed with you in Vrindavan. Amalaya punalila karaha Vrindavane tabe amara manavancha hayata purane. I therefore request you to come to Vrindavan and enjoy pastimes with me. If you do so, my ambition will be fulfilled. Bhagavate ache aiche Radhika Vachan Purvetaha Sutra Madhye Karyachi Varnan. I have already described in brief Srimati Radharani's statement from Srimad Bhagavatam. Sei Bhava Veshe Prabhu Pade Arashlo Sei Sab Shlokera Artha Nahi Bhujelo. In that ecstatic mood, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recited many other verses, but people in general could not understand their meaning. स्वरूप गोसाई जाने ना कहे अर्थतार श्री रूप गोसाई कैलास से अर्थ प्रचार. Only Swarup Damodar Goswami could understand, but he did not tell the meaning of it. He did not reveal to others. However, Rupa Goswami has broadcast the meaning. Swarupa Sangyara Artha Karya Sadan Nritya Madhya Sai Shloka Karena Patan. While dancing, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to recite the following verse, which he tested in the association of Swarup Damodar Goswami. That ahushchate nalina nab padarvindam yogeshware rudhi vichintyam agada bodhai samsara kupa patitottaranavalom lambanam geham jusham api manasi udiyat sadanah. The gopi spoke thus: Dear Lord, whose navel is just like a lotus flower, your lotus feet are the only shelter for those who have fallen into the deep whale of material existence. Your feet are worshipped and meditated upon by great mystic yogis and highly learned philosophers. We wish that these lotus feet may also be awakened within our hearts, although we are only ordinary persons engaged in household affairs. So this is in Srimad Bhagavatam revealed by Shukdev Goswami. So this verse is very nice. Annera rudhayaman mora mana vrindavan mane vane eka kari jani taha tomar padadvay karacha yadi uday tabe tomar purna kripa mani. Speaking in the mood of Srimati Radharani, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, for most people, the mind and heart are one. But because my mind is never separated from Vrindavan, I consider my mind and Vrindavan to be one. My mind is already Vrindavan, and since you are like Vrindavan, will you please place your lotus feet there? I would deem that your full mercy. Radharani's mood. Okay. Prananath Shunamora Satya Nivedan Vraja Amara Sadantaha Tomara Sangam Na Paile Na Rahe Jeevan. My dear Lord, kindly hear my true submission. My home is Vrindavan, and I wish your association there. But if I do not get it, then it will be very difficult for me to keep my life. Prabhupada's purport says, only when the mind is free from designations can one desire the association of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All of us identify ourselves with so many designations. I'm so and so, this is that duty, this duty. So with this, we cannot associate with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The mind must have some occupation. If a person is to be free of material things, his mind cannot be vacant. If there must be subject matters for thinking, feeling, and willing. Unless one's mind is filled with thoughts of Krishna, feelings for Krishna, and a desire to serve Krishna, the mind will be filled with material activities. Those who have given up all material activities and have ceased thinking of them should always retain the ambition to think of Krishna. Without Krishna, one cannot live, just as a person cannot live without some enjoyment for his mind. पूर्वे उद्धव द्वारे एबे साक्षात आमारे योग ज्ञाने कहिला उपाय तुम्ही विदग्ध कृपामय जानह आमार हृदय मोरे आयचे कहिते न जोयाय. My dear Krishna, formerly when you were staying in Mathura, you sent Uddhav to teach me speculative knowledge and mystic yoga. Now you yourself are speaking the same thing, but my mind doesn't accept it. There is no place in my mind for Jnana Yoga or Dhyan Yoga. Although you know me very well, you are still instructing me in Jnana Yoga and Dhyan Yoga. It is not right for you to do so. चित्त काटी तोमा हईते विषय चाही लगाईते यत्न करी नारी काटी बारे तारे ध्यान शिक्षा करह लोक हसाया मोर स्थाना न कर विचारे. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, I would like to withdraw my consciousness from you and engage it in material activities. But even though I try, I cannot do so. I am naturally inclined to you only. Your instructions for me to meditate on you are therefore simply ludicrous. In this way, you are killing me. It is not very good for you to think of me as a candidate for your instructions. So this is very high platform. Gopis had it. They say, oh Krishna, you are killing us maid servants who have offered you freely. Is this proper? Killing maid servants who are serving you free of charge. So same Radharani's mood and Gopi's mood, she is exhibiting. Gaurang Mahaprabhu is exhibiting. So any question? Today we have covered where we should have been. Sorry for being a little fast. But anyway, some things are beyond us. Any question about ecstasy?
Romancha Kampashru Taranga Bhajo. It's very clear. But most of the devotees sing Romancha Kampashru Shrutaranga Bhajo.
No problem. If Sanskrit is like that.
No, so but it actually gives the wrong meaning. Because
it depends on what devotees think in their mind.
But actually,
and Avagrahi Janardhan.
But actually the real sentence or the real wording says
while singing it has to be like that.
Yeah, that's what.
We don't have to
as
split
much as
it up.
possible that they should practice it.
No, according to singing, it is that way only. Romancha Kampashru Taranga Bhajo.
No, actually it is Romancha Kampashru Taranga Bhajo.
Ha, but it is Ashru Tarang. Kampa has nothing to do with Ashra.
Ashru Taranga, that gap should be there.
Gap should be there.
Yes.
Okay, no problem. See, Bhavagrahi Janardhan.
Yeah.
Rather than trying to get into letter of the law, we should see the
No, why?
spirit of
Because in Sanskrit, if you just add to a word, the word becomes opposite. Mala, if you add a, and it becomes opposite, amala.
the. You know Kanakdas,
Yeah.
that Amar, what is that? No, because Kanakadas was saying, Lord, one of the name, it is, he is Amarapati. The Amara are the demigods, but he would sing Marapati.
Hmm.
So the Brahmanas there in, what is that? Not Udupi. And this is not Kanak Das, maybe the other one. Purandar Das, maybe. In that Guruvayur, the Brahmanas became very upset. What nonsense! Huh? Amarapati, Lord is the master of demigods. And this fellow says Marapati, he is the master of mundane mortals. They became very angry and they criticized him and all that. So Lord appeared in their dreams of the Brahmanas. He said, you rascals, what do you think? I am only the master of demigods. Am I not the master of mundane mortals? You rascals, you beg forgiveness from Puri or this, what? Kanakana Das or...
No, if it is Guruvayur,
So,
maybe
so there is that whole tree there now. You can see outside the complex of the temple, and that is called a Marapati. All the trees and other things are there. Lord is not just the master of Amaras, that is the demigods, but also the... See, we should not get into all these things because the shloka says very clearly, we have to understand the heart of the Lord. Sometimes devotees may commit mistake, and these are really small. These are not to be... Lord doesn't take it as an offense. Why should we get into all that arguments? Murkho vadati Vishnaya, Dhiram vadati Vishnave, Ubhayam tu samam punyam, Bhavagrahi Janadana. We say Vishnu, sorry, Keshav. So Om Keshavaya Namaha. Then Om Keshavaya Namaha. Narayan, so Om Narayan Namaha. Then Madhav, Om Madhavaya Namaha. Govind, Om Govindaya Namaha. Vishnu, Om Vishnaya Namaha. With the same logic. But this is wrong. Om Vishnave Namaha. So Murkho Vadati Vishnaya. Those who are fools, those who don't know Sanskrit, they will say Om Vishnaya Namaha. And Dhiram Vadati Vishnave. Those who are in knowledge, they'll say Om Vishnave Namaha. Ubhayam tu samam punyam. Both get the same benefit because Bhavagrahi Janardhan, Lord accepts the bhav. That South Indian Brahmin, what pronunciation of Bhagavad Gita? If only we are present there, we will maybe, no offense, but we'll spit on his face maybe. Because we think we are very scholarly. Lord doesn't see all these things. Lord sees bhav. Like small kids, mom, 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 mom. Immediately mother says, hey, sing mommy. He did not say me at all. Mom, 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 mom. Me is not coming only, but they will say mommy. Because Lord is like that. So we don't have to get into too much of all this. Otherwise, we will only fight with each other and...
For correction, why not do it?
Yes, so you sing correctly.
Yeah. And one more thing. Yasya prasada bhagavad prasado. Okay. After the next one is Yasya aprasada nagati kutopi.
What happens when you sing?
When we are singing,
when you sing Yasya prasadat nagati kutopi. If you split it up, then Yasya aprasadat.
Yeah.
But while singing, it will become Yasya prasadat.
Yeah.
Not necessarily Yasya aprasadat. Because then the singing gets interrupted. The rules of singing and the rules of prose are different. That's why. Similarly in shlokas also, you will find, Dehino asmin. Now we can say Dehina asmin yatha dehe, but not like that. Dehino asmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantara praptir dhiras tatra namuhyati. It has to be combined while singing. But when it comes to prose, then de asmin dehe. In fact, it is not even dehina asmin. Asmin dehe dehinaha. So rules differ. See, Prabhupada's slokas we can see, Janma karma divyam che. How Prabhupada says in prose. So if we get into too much, we will commit offense to Prabhupada also. We will not leave him. That Prabhupada doesn't know. We cannot say like that. We have to be... We can tell devotees some things, but sometimes we ourselves may not know. Because Sanskrit is too vast a language and nobody can reach perfection. And we are not here to become scholars at all. Not at all. He says also, नायम आत्मा प्रवचनेन लभ्यो न मेधया न बहुना श्रुतेन तमेव वृणुते तस्यैव tena tasaisha, like that. So Nayam Atma Pravachanam, by giving many millions of lectures, you cannot attain Krishna. Nayam Atma Pravachanena Labhya na medhaya, not by with your intelligence. Na bahuna shrutena, by hearing millions of lectures also you cannot achieve Krishna. Krishna can be achieved by one whom he chooses to offer his mercy. And whom will he choose? Only a humble and meek shall inherit the kingdom of God. So we don't have to fight over all these things. Some things, okay. Yes.
In this past time, we heard about Harichandan being slapped by Shivas Thakur, and Harichandan was responding angrily. But he was fortunate to have Shivas Thakur, or Pratap Raja, a devotee next to him, so he prevented further offenses. And he made him see that this is a mercy. It's not a chastisement or insult. It's actually mercy you're getting. So he was fortunate, he was saved from further offenses. But in a practical scenario, when we interact and we get some experience like this from another devotee, like Shivas Thakur slapping Harichandan, now we may not be able to perceive either it may be instruction, difficult instruction coming from authority, or it can be a bad interaction with the devotee, and we try to respond in a way which is more harsh, because one is treated harshly, response also becomes harshly. So how can he prevent further offenses?
By hearing only. See, he heard King Prataparudra after he was slapped. So you could hear while getting slapped or even before getting slapped. So the more you hear, Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Seva, Abhadras will go away. Then you will not succumb to the mode of passion by becoming angry. You will be able to tolerate. Haridas Thakur, you can see, 22 marketplaces he was beaten up. He was not responding. He was not retaliating and all that. It is said that Tiraskrita Vipralabdha Shapta Shipta Hatapi Nasyatat Pratikurvanti Tadbhakta Prabhavahi Api. My devotees Tiraskrita, even if they are neglected, Tiraskrita Vipralabdha, they are cheated. Shapta, they are cursed, they are attacked, they are killed. Nasyatat Pratikurvanti, still they don't retaliate. They are my devotees. So by hearing only we will understand, and by listening to the pastimes of pure devotees like Haridas Thakur, etc., we will get the strength, and by serving great souls also. So it is a process. We are in process. Sometimes we may fall prey to anger, etc., but no problem. Afterwards, whenever we are free from anger, out of that calamity, then we can go and beg forgiveness.
Yeah, later one realizes.
No problem.
Should not have done like that.
But as we make progress, at the earliest you will realize. Even before committing offense, you will realize. That is what is progress means. Not necessarily that we don't commit mistake only. To err is human, but one who repeats his mistake is a fool, Prabhupada said. And eventually the errors will reduce, because the cheating propensity we all give up as Vaishnavas. That is the sign hallmark, because Bhaktivinoda Thakur say, Saralta is the simplicity, is the first sign. So we give up cheating propensity. Then we will not commit mistakes only. Errors will also stop eventually, because we will not fall in illusion. Because our senses are fully engaged in Krishna service, they will act as perfect senses. All the 4 defects will be in the reverse order, will be removed. But for that, senses should be engaged anyway all the time in Krishna service. Then step by step, at least the last one we gave up. We have given up. We are supposed to be giving up. That is a Vaishnava. If as Vaishnavas we are cheating, then we are not proper Vaishnavas. Then we cannot make progress. It will take many lifetimes to go back home, back to God. So we don't cheat. We simply tell, I'm fallen. I did this mistake. I did not intend to do it, but it happened. So that honesty is the best policy. Slowly, these mistakes will go away. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, just there are 2 moods which we see here. One I have heard, please correct me if I am wrong, like it was in description where Srimati Radharani is glorified. It is said that Srimati Radharani becomes even more happier, that when Krishna is loving some other gopi more than her, then she is like, yes, Lord, if you are loving some other
That is
gopi,
last chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Sri Shikshastakam prayers,
yes,
20th chapter of Antyalila.
yes. So I'm even more happier, and I'll try my best to assist in that way. And even in Sikshastakam 8th sloka, it is the meaning is said that like, even if you handle me roughly by his embrace or make me broken hearted by not being present before me, he's completely free to do whatever.
Anything and everything.
Yes.
Or you are always my worshipful Lord unconditionally.
So this gives us like, like, so, but when I see here in Pratap Rudra Maharaj, he seems very stubborn getting mercy of the Lord. So like, as a sadhaka, what
All different devotees will have different moods. That's why we should be able to understand the activities and words of devotee. Vaishnavara Kriya Mudra Vigyana Bhujai. You cannot understand the activities of the devotee so easily unless you are also on that platform. It takes one to know one. Unless you are a doctorate student, you cannot understand what it means to be another doctorate student. So we need to be of that caliber. So all devotees will have different approaches for mercy. Everybody will be different. So we should be able to accommodate that variety. Everybody is different. Just like all of us, you can see, look around. Nobody looks same. Nobody's height is more or less same. Weights are different. Complexions are different. Nose is different. Hair texture is different. All are different. So likewise, the moods of different Vaishnavas are different. Radharani's mood is highest, no doubt. That to Ashleshava Padaratam Pinashtuma. The whole description is there in the 20th chapter, Antyalila. A lot of details are given by Krishna's Guru. Mahaprabhu himself is explaining those prayers. So that is certainly very high mood. And King Prataprudra also we should be able to appreciate. He is also correct.
So at the sadhaka, what we should be aspire for? Which, I mean,
we should hear while we are chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And the mood will be appropriately formed, whatever is required.
And one more question, Prabhu. Just here, getting the mercy of the Lord repeatedly, it is mentioned in so many slokas. So what does that mean? Getting mercy means, because if what I understand is getting love of Lord, getting the love prem towards Lord.
Yeah, Krupa, basically, mercy, so that we make advancement faster. All our advancement is by the mercy of the Lord only. Our desire is there, our endeavor, but without Lord assisting, we won't be able to. Just like this lecture would not be effective without this sound system. Likewise, without mercy, this is also mercy of the Lord only. Without mercy of the Lord, we just can't do anything. He has given air, he has given sunlight, he has given water, he has given the life energy. He is end all and be all. Vasudeva Sarvamiti. So his mercy coming in any form. Coming prasad also is his mercy. Garland, this is also mercy. The ability to be able to speak about Krishna, to be able to hear about the Lord, is all mercy of the Lord only. We are floating in the ocean of mercy. Mercy of the Lord. Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu, Dina Bandhu Jagatpate. So mercy is in so many different ways. Everything is mercy of the Lord only. Even getting slapped by the devotee of the Lord or by the Lord is mercy only. Everything is mercy only. I am made up of your mercy only. Yogyata vichare kichu nahi pai tomara karuna sara karuna na hoile kandiya prana na rakhi boar. This is referring to Guru, but same Guru receives mercy from Krishna only. Gunarnavasya. Krishna is the ocean of all the good qualities. So everything is mercy only. What is not mercy? Getting diseased, getting cancer, getting heart attack, getting intense stomach problem, being on the deathbed, about to die in 1 or 2 hours, is all mercy of the Lord. It all depends on the outlook. Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. Jaisi drishti, vaisi srushti. If you feel with humility, then everything is mercy of the Lord only. And if we don't have that knowledge and that mercy of the devotees and the Lord, then we consider everything to be a curse in life. This devotee is disgrace, his disgrace, all disgrace. They are called his grace, but we are thinking they are disgrace because we are not able to digest the mercy. We are not able to getting to hear. By hearing, we understand how everything is mercy. Understand?
Thank you.
There behind somebody had a question. He's raising hand for a long time, I think.
What does it signify, like getting cloth from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Because
Getting
cloth from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu
cloth.
to King Prataprudra. He wears so many garlands and all. What exactly does it signify in particular thing like?
It is not different from the Lord. As Lord Shiva says to Parvati, of all the worships of the Lord, worship of Lord Vishnu is topmost. And even better than worshipping Lord Vishnu is worshipping his paraphernalia, all the things. And in that topmost paraphernalia is devotee. Our things like my cloth is not that important as me. It's a secondary. But that is not the case with the Lord, because Balramji expands in the form of the ornaments, the bedding, the umbrella, canopy, and so many other different ways. So when devotee's mercy comes, Lord's mercy, better than that is devotee's mercy, Guru's mercy. So all this paraphernalia is considered very important in spiritual life. Just like people are mad, I heard for that Michael Jackson, I think, his cloth piece, even the 1 inch by 1 inch would be sold in lakhs and lakhs or crores of dollars, maybe. So what is there in that? That fellow, all sweat and everything mixed in that, might have washed in the laundry, but still. But just like that is bad, but this is very special. Lord's clothes, Lord's ornaments, Lord's chappals, everything related to the Lord.
Prabhu, actually, my question is like garlands are there. Mahaprabhu wears many garlands and dances and all, right? Does it have any specific significance that asking like especially cloth should be?
No, he did not ask for cloth. Nityan Prabhu requested, Lord, at least please give your outer garment. Then Mahaprabhu said, fine. Yes. Hear him first.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
This you spoke about cheating propensity, Prabhuji, giving it up. So, is it a gradual process of giving up cheating propensity? Actually, how it works?
No, you cannot be really considered a Vaishnava unless you give up cheating propensity. Advancement is later, but beginning is with simplicity.
How practical it is? Can we give it up instantly?
Yeah, just by hearing.
Cheating.
Yeah. What it takes? It takes only saralta. You're a simple person. What our acharyas have told, Amara Jivan Sada Paperata, Ahika Punyaralesh. So many, they tell themselves to be so fallen. So why can't we tell? Is it applicable to Bhaktivinoda Thakur? Was it Jivan? His life was filled with sins? Or is our life filled with sins? So for us, it is so easy to say, I'm very fallen. For us to cry out to Krishna is the easiest thing in the life. We are so fallen, we are so gone case. Lust is there, pride is there, anger is, all are simultaneously there. And many more things are there. What is there, that also I don't know. So much ignorance is also there. So we are most blessed, isn't it? Isn't Radhan Swami Maharaj said in last Ratha-yātrā that actually all of you are more advanced than you know yourself of. But what will happen if you know how advanced you are? You will become very proud. So Krishna has kept you covered. And last moment of your life, suddenly he will remove the covering. And you will know, oh my God, I'm not that bad, miss. But that time it's okay because you are dying then. Otherwise, you will become angry on other devotees. You know how pure I am. So Maharaj said that purposefully Krishna is not allowing you to see how pure you are. Miss, you are a little more pure than what you know yourself. So it's good, no? Cheating we should never have. That is the entrance gate. Like entrance exam is there. AIEEE and IIT JEE, advanced, I don't know what all is there. AIMS, not AIMS, whatever it is. So likewise, giving up cheating propensity, we can enter in spiritual life. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
This giving a cloth on the same topic. Like sometimes, like we get from spiritual master or some Prabhupada's shawl or some kind of as a gift or an auction or whatever way.
In auction.
Sometimes it
Achha.
happens in some temples they do auction. like master gives sometimes servant some clothes, and servant actually wears the clothes. So in that sense, like this is worshipable, or can we also wear the cloth in that?
I have
way?
heard one thing. If somebody knows, he can tell me. I heard as long as spiritual master is there, you could wear it. But after his departure from the world, you should worship it.
Okay.
So when I had, because I had heard this once or so, I have His Holiness Ratha-yātrā Maharaj one Chadar. Means he went to some program or something. I don't know what was their winter season. So he was feeling cold maybe. So for just some time he wore that shawl, saffron shawl, maybe 1 to 3 hours. That's all. It was not like whole night and all. But then one devotee got it. SRM pass out, Chennai. So he's, because I used to go to SRM Chennai college in that way. So he said, Prabhu, would you like to have Maharaj shawl? I said, yes, why not? So I wear it also like that.
So if it is Prabhupada's shawl, then
Then we should worship it, keep it some nice pure place. Worship means not that we do arti and all that, but we can touch sometimes, we can remember Prabhupada. We don't use it. This is what I have heard once.
okay.
Mataji, which one? Which Mataji has question? Acha, okay. If you have any Mataji has question.
I have one question.
Hmm.
Prabhu, you're mentioning that like our shuttle body, how it dances, our outer body will dance like that. And then you gave example, I mean, you compared the Radharani's these things and all, while explaining that. So, but Lord's body is transcendental. How the subtle body will be there? Can you
No,
explain?
it is for us that I said. That is simplicity also. What is there inside is outside. Duplicity means thinking one thing, speaking another thing, and doing third thing. In body, mind, and words, there is a difference. That is duplicity. But when there is no difference, then that is simplicity. That is straightforward nature. That is very much appreciated also. Prabhupada is so simple. Prabhupada's definition of simplicity means no duplicity. Prabhupada is so simple. Understand? Just like in our childhood, we had that give opposite words. Isn't it? Happiness, distress. Something like that. Prabhupada says simplicity means no duplicity. As simple as that. Prabhupada is so simple. They have so many slogans also in English. They say the topmost sophistication is simplicity. By hearing only the word sophistication, immediately we feel something complex is going to come. But topmost what is that? Sophistication is simplicity. Like that. In America, they have that formula, KISS formula. Keep it simple, stupid. Just making it so complex, keep it simple. Otherwise, you are a stupid. Just simple. Sarala Koriyaman. Gao gao punaha gaurangera guna sarala Koriyaman. Again and again sing the glories of Lord Gauranga by making your mind saral, simple. Otherwise, so much complexity. Always you are wondering how people look at me and how, all that. It's so much complexity. Just be as you are, simple. What to show? What will you show after 100 years from now? Nothing to show. You will be out of this body. The body will also not remain for showing. It will be burned to ashes. So let us be simple and please Gauranga's Mahaprabhu and get his unlimited mercy. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanand.
Hari Hari Bo. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Guruji. It's a very sophisticated topic. This is, and you explained it very simply. In a way you can understand, because on our own reading this section is quite difficult to understand and appreciate. Thank you very much. So tomorrow evening also this lecture series will continue. So tomorrow evening will be the last lecture of this series. Then Prabhuji is giving Saturday morning class, and Sunday morning, kindly note the schedule. There is a change in schedule that Sunday is the disappearance day of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So the Sunday program starts at 10 a.m. So with Kirtan, and 10:30 to 12 will be lecture on the glories of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And 12 o'clock will be Bhoga Arati, and then followed by Pushpanjali, Arati and Prasadam. Hare Krishna. Now dinner Prasadam right now. Prasadam hall. Hare Krishna.